literally archetype iDrive, or iDrive the future, and it represents the brand identity of the next generation of drivers. So, a little bit about me. I'm a lifelong transportation nerd with a background in software. I grew up programming an Apple II, graduated with a degree in computer science from Berkeley, and then after selling my first company, Garage Games, turned my attention towards sustainable transportation. To quote the Chrysler commercial that this slide apes, it's as important where it's from as who it's for. And in our case, Arcimoto comes from a culture that's rooted in sustainable values, and we've benefited from the expertise of a generation of electric vehicle futurists, as well as heavy vehicle manufacturing experts. We're building a three-wheel vehicle, and defining really a new vehicle platform to marry the benefits in terms of efficiency of the two-wheel form with the capabilities of automotive-level transportation. So rather than just replacing the internal combustion engine, we're reformulating the basic vehicle platform itself, focused not on the functionality that's offered by a full-size car, but instead the functionality that's required for the vast majority of vehicle trips. Our approach has been iterative, experimenting first with the basic vision of the product family, then establishing a footprint that's both an order of magnitude more environmentally efficient than cars on the road, yet stable, zippy, super fun to drive. With that footprint established, we built our first concept car, the Pulse, and we used that to launch the brand and the product line into public awareness. And finally, we built a new vehicle platform that would be best in class both in terms of vehicle efficiency as well as ride quality. We put the platform prototype on the road about a year and a half ago. And in the intervening months, we then took all of those first four generations and combined them into one cohesive product concept we call the SRK, our fifth generation of product development. The partially enclosed base model can be enclosed with several different enclosure packages for different usage applications, from the lightweight Jeep meets motorcycle to the Deliberator for fleet applications. After we put the SRK product prototype on the road, we took it down to California for a publicity tour, and while we were there we had the chance to put Stana, one of the lead actors on ABC's Castle, in the driver's seat, and this video chronicles her experience.
All right, so test drive. How did you feel?
Awesome, Dave. It's so fun. It caught everybody's eye too. I went through a gas station. I didn't have to stop, so that's awesome. And all the cars that were there, like one person BMW, said that's tight, and that's kind of what I got all the way around.
It's cool, right? Thank you. It's electric. I don't even need to stop here.
It's fun. It's like a mix between a safe motorcycle and a sports car. You know what I mean? It feels really, really exciting.
So we put Generation 5 on the road in April of last year, and throughout the sixth generation of development, the engineering team has continued to refine every aspect of the vehicle experience, shaving weight, improving buildability and cost, improving safety, reliability, and efficiency. We've dropped hundreds of pounds of weight, lowered the center of gravity considerably, and also the engineering team has put some energy into making the basic platform itself more shapely so we can wrap an even sexier body around the product. About a month and a half ago, we locked down the platform design for build, and we're actually now building the Generation 6 prototype in our shop and expect to have it on the road within a month. The images I'm about to show you have been seen by actually very few people, and they represent the current state of body design for number 6. Still very much a work in progress, but you can see just from a basic shape level that the improvements in the platform actually have resulted in great improvements in terms of the stylistic aspect of the vehicle itself. At the conclusion of this design cycle, we'll begin building the SRK pilot fleet, which represents our transition from sort of a pure prototyping and design operation towards a vehicle production venture. So what's next? Our first product, the SRK, will launch with a curb weight that's less than half of that of a conventional automobile. We specifically designed this vehicle to use low-cost, highly available, highly recyclable materials, steel and plastic primarily. And so the benefits that we're gaining in terms of embodied energy and weight are purely from the platform itself. As we look forward to a Generation 2 product, a Generation 3 product, we'll begin integrating lighter weight material, advanced composites of the kind that, for example, Washington State is known for all around the world. Ultimately, using technology that exists today, we see the ability to bring an Arcimoto platform vehicle into the market at less than a quarter of the weight of today's conventional automobile, yet still maintain the capabilities that are required for daily driving. Meanwhile, mass transit is making a huge comeback. For decades relegated to decommissioning and disrepair, there's a growing push for better mass transit all across the country. You can look, only as far south as Portland. There's the light rail system, the streetcar, and you've got a gondola even. And some futurists point to systems like this, personal rapid transit, or PRT, as solutions for global sustainable mass transit. The challenge with both a train system or a PRT system is that they carry a very high infrastructure cost. And so if we're going to count on this to solve sustainable transportation for the world, we're going to be waiting for a long time. At the same time, our many decades-long so-called love affair with the automobile is losing its shine. As the public awareness of the external consequences of our transportation patterns have become more apparent, the idea of the one-size-fits-all automobile as this extension of persona has begun to wane. That trend is accelerated by the adoption of vehicle sharing services like Zipcar. So rather than having to own a pickup truck to go get a yard of dirt, a Prius to drive up to Canada, an SUV to drive up to the mountains, Zipcar lets you pick the right vehicular tool for the job, and you don't have to own it. You can rent it by the hour. Simple, affordable, uses mobile devices, and so on. And Zipcar is just the beginning. Zipcar's main challenge is that they have to own and maintain all the vehicles. They got to figure out what's the ideal place to park this thing so that it's going to get used enough to pay for the parking and the depreciation of the vehicle, and so on. What really gets me excited is Getaround. This new service, which launched in the Bay Area last spring and coming very soon to the Northwest, is great. Instead of Getaround owning the fleet of vehicles, what they allow you to do is they let you rent your car by the hour to other people. So they give you an economic incentive to share your vehicle. They fully insure it while somebody else is driving it. So you don't have to worry that if somebody dings it that it's going to go on your insurance record. And so just a simple comparison, after more than a decade of operation, Zipcar there are hundreds of Zipcars in San Francisco. 2 months after launch, Getaround had 5,000 vehicles signed up in the Bay Area alone. So, touch of a button on your smartphone, you can rent by the hour a vehicle of your choice, and the owner can rest easy knowing that they're making money and the vehicle is protected while you do. In fact, the guys at Getaround say that there are some vehicle owners that are making more than their car payments renting out their cars. You have a self-monetizing asset, takes the car, which is sort of the most expensive, fastest depreciating asset that you never use, and lets you really leverage it. But as cool as get around is, it pales in comparison to